Welcome to our channel. Today we dive into the world of Russian literature with a summary of Fyodor Dostoevsky's masterpiece, Crime and Punishment. This novel, a complex exploration of morality, guilt, and redemption, continues to captivate readers around the world. Join us as we break down the key themes and plot points in this literary classic. Crime and Punishment, published in 1866, is one of Dostoevsky's most renowned works. The novel is set in St. Petersburg, Russia, and revolves around the life of Rodion Raskolnikov, a young, impoverished ex-student. Struggling with poverty and alienation, Raskolnikov becomes obsessed with the idea that some people possess the right to commit crimes if it benefits humanity. This belief drives him to commit a heinous act, the murder of a pawnbroker, Alyona Ivanovna. But instead of finding freedom, Raskolnikov is plagued by intense guilt and paranoia, leading him down a path of psychological torment. The crime and its aftermath. Raskolnikov's decision to murder the pawnbroker is not just a crime of desperation, but a philosophical experiment. He sees himself as an extraordinary man who is above the moral laws that govern ordinary people. However, the act of murder does not bring him the sense of empowerment he expected. Instead, it initiates a deep internal conflict. Raskolnikov is haunted by his conscience, and the psychological burden of his crime begins to unravel his mental state. The novel vividly portrays his descent into madness as he grapples with the moral implications of his actions and the reality of human suffering. The role of Sonia and redemption. One of the novel's most significant characters is Sonia Marmeladova, a young woman forced into prostitution to support her family. Sonia represents compassion, humility, and moral integrity, qualities that starkly contrast with Raskolnikov's cold rationalism. Through his interactions with Sonia, Raskolnikov begins to confront the reality of his crime and the possibility of redemption. Sonia's unwavering faith and her belief in the power of repentance serve as a catalyst for Raskolnikov's eventual confession. She embodies the novel's exploration of the redemptive power of suffering and love. The investigation and Porfiry Petrovich. The investigation of the pawnbroker's murder is led by Porfiry Petrovich, an astute and psychologically insightful detective. Porfiry is aware of Raskolnikov's guilt early on, but rather than arrest him outright, he engages in a cat-and-mouse game, subtly manipulating Raskolnikov's psyche. Porfiry's probing questions and keen observations intensify Raskolnikov's paranoia and guilt, ultimately leading him to confess. Porfiry represents the moral and intellectual challenges that Raskolnikov faces, as well as the inevitable consequence of his actions. His character adds to the novel's exploration of justice and the psychological complexities of crime and punishment. The conclusion and Raskolnikov's transformation. In the final chapters of Crime and Punishment, Raskolnikov's journey comes full circle. After confessing to the crime, he is sentenced to a Siberian penal colony. However, it is in this bleak environment that he begins to find a sense of peace. Through Sonia's support and his own introspection, Raskolnikov experiences a profound spiritual awakening. He starts to understand the value of human connection, love, and repentance. The novel concludes with a note of hope, suggesting that even the gravest sins can be redeemed through suffering and moral reconciliation.